Hello, welcome. This is the achievement guide for Stalker. It requires you to have the Commissioner marked consistently as soon as he's left the office, or before he's left the office, until the safe is opened. What's the Commissioner Stalker? Yes, have Commissioner Garrett marked the entire duration after he has left the office until you have opened the safe. Now, straight away, this is a solo version of it, and you can do it on any difficulty. Straight away, I recommend having a co-op partner for this. I do not recommend doing it solo whatsoever, because it was a massive pain in the arse, and I took a number of tries to do it myself. Anyway, yes, so I'd strongly recommend using a co-op partner. Possibly two, if you can get two other people, depending on how competent your friends or your teammates are. One other person is enough, 2 people, but three's always handy just in case. For solo, I'm using the trip mines because they will help me to mark. Anyway, so once you're through this area, the first thing you want to do is check to see if the security office is on the right side, and if it is, then that's good because it means Garrett's office is in the top right corner, which is the position I found to be the easiest way to do this. You may find the other position easier, but for me this was the easiest, so I am doing it this way.
The Commissioner's office, guys.
Anyway, so just moving around, I killed these 2 guys, these 2 roving guards. Now, if you're unlucky, you may get a 3rd guard. Lock will tell you that guards are changing shifts or rotational patterns or whatever, and you will see a guy come down in the lift, and he will make his way to Garrett's office. So yes, I recommend saving all 4 pages for this area, 1 for the security officer and the 3 for this area. If you've got Silent Assassin on, then you can obviously kill all the guards and not worry about the pages. Anyway, so you want to stick a trip mine about here, because that's one of the locations where Garrett will stay when you distract him from his office via phone call. Oh, Jesus. Anyway, so yes, it may be, if you're doing this solo, then it may be a good idea to set up trip mines.
Just imagine putting a slug right in the middle of our Garrett's gob. But not tonight, friends. Long game and all that, yeah? He might leave if we turn off the lights. Do you see a circuit box nearby?
Here's the 3rd patrolling guard. I took care of him before distracting Garrett, just so I could. There was no chances of me bumping into him and getting distracted or whatever. So that's all 4 pages used now. But that also leaves no more guards. So there's I've put a secondary trip mine there by the light switch, because this will keep Garrett marked. Now you'll want to follow Garrett until he's at the power box, the trip mine power box, and you'll want to wait until the trip mine beeps. Anyway, Garrett will stay there until you've deactivated all the power boxes and open the door to his office. So at this point, if you're doing it solo, you no longer need to worry about Garrett for the time being. You're free to roam around and just look for the power boxes.
Find those security boxes, friends. There you go. One more should do it.
Anyway, so now then, once you've got the 3 power boxes, this is where the time limit starts, and this is where it gets to be a bit of a problem on solo. You have to be quite quick, but also be aware of Garrett and make sure he's not. Luckily, I found the safe incredibly quickly. You got to make sure Garrett's not coming back, because as soon as he leaves that trip mine, you're going to have to start manually marking him again. There you go. So he's coming back now, so I'm back to manually marking him, and he's not going to go back to that power switch anytime soon, or at all, I should say. Anyway, yes, so it's back to marking him, and you wanna keep marking him. You'll have to go from the side, and you'll have to keep marking him, even though he's in his office. Just keep marking him until Locke gives you another way to distract him. This is where a secondary player would come in handy, because you could just have one person do the distraction, and the other person could just sit there and mash the F key, or whatever it is on gamepads. I don't know what it's on gamepads, probably square or X or something, or maybe it's triangle or Y. Anyway, yes, so keep marking him. If you're doing it solo, keep marking him. Go back, look for the computer that's been look for the computer that you can hack. If you're lucky, sometimes you can get that computer there in the corner, and that can be the hackable computer. I was just rushing backwards and forwards because I didn't want the mark to go, obviously. But keep going, keep looking around. And eventually you'll find the right computer that you need. There you go. So once you've found it, just mark him once more, quickly hack the computer, and go back to mashing the F key. And once he is, you should put a trip mine there, and that will that be another location of where Garrett will stand. In this video, I foolishly made the mistake of not placing one there, but I strongly advise placing one there if you're doing this solo. Anyway, so just keep marking him, and eventually he'll start to move again.
Right. Now let's see if he took the bait.
Because I hacked his computer. When you hack the computer, he'll stand in that area just there. And now, luckily for me, he was in range of the office, so I could just tap codes in, and that's pretty much all there is to it. That's just it, really. But yes, using like I say, I wouldn't recommend doing it solo. Using a cut partner would be ideal.